What's the best candy you can get in trick-or-treating?
Tootsie Roll.
Twizzler.
Twix.
Snickers.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
I think I got mine in. I changed it right at the last
Yours
minute.
was so bad at first.
What was it? You said
It-
you said first.
I said
Twizzler.
Twizzler.
Which
Oh
is the,
yeah,
one of the worst.
that's not a good answer.
And here's why I said Twizzler. Okay, regularly, right? These candies, like Snickers, to me is like top tier. You get the chocolate, the caramel, the nuts.
I didn't know this was like
The texture.
a rule where you can change your answer.
Yeah. What is this?
Oh, you guys didn't read the handbook.
No, dude. After 125 episodes, I didn't read it.
Yeah, well, as long as you
have
get
to
it
stick
in
with
before
Twizzler now.
the beat drops, then you're good. Okay, well, I'm gonna explain both, right?
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
calm
go
down.
ahead.
The Snickers Mini is what I meant to change it to, because a full Snickers, I don't need the rest of my bag at this point, because
The issue is not the Snickers; it's the Twizzlers.
Yeah,
Right,
we're
okay,
not worried about
me,
the Snickers.
Let me give you the logic of the Twizzler at first, right? Twizzler, the ones that you peel each string off, right? It's one of those candies as you're sorting through the other candies.
You throw away.
Like, no.
Oh, you trade. You use it as trading.
Boy,
Like,
you
to
throw
your
away
dumb
the
friend.
you throw away the milk duds.
No.
Get
You
that
use
out
that-
of here.
No,
You use that
no.
to trade to your dumb friend.
You
that,
th-
like,
you
You
trade
throw
the
away
Reese's.
the payday. The payday. The
No,
goat.
you trade the
the,
Reese's.
What's the daddy one? The
I'll
sugar
trade the
daddy?
Reese's. What's the sugar?
Sugar daddy? The yellow one? Is that what it's called?
No, that's Mary Jane.
No.
Whoa.
They're the worst. They're the worst candies.
That's a
Worst.
candy?
Yeah, it's that one. You remember when you're
Oh.
younger? It was like
Oh,
a brown
God.
and yellow color.
I searched up sugar daddy on image. Hold on, I gotta delete this. This is not what I'm looking for. What's the daddy candy, bruh? Daddy
Mr.
candy.
Daddy?
Halloween.
Yo, I don't know what your neighbors are giving, but
Sugar. It is sugar daddy. It is sugar daddy.
Do you remember these? I know that this is a video podcast, but I mean an audio podcast. But
What is that?
you
I've
never
actually
got
never
these.
had that.
What's it
Really?
called?
These
What's it
were
called?
they're called Mary Jane, and they were
Mary Jane.
infesting my Halloween bag for a
Are
few
they filled
years.
with cannabis? What's
No, it's just called Mary Jane, but it's like a
what do they taste like?
honestly, they probably don't taste that bad, but they were just like the ugliest candy and we didn't want them. They're okay, maybe I would like it now, but I didn't like it back then. They're peanut
I
butter
just
and
got-
molasses flavored taffy.
I'm getting pictures of Spider-Man's girlfriend. Okay, guys, this is too funny, but we have this girl Niyati doing like she's in the podcast right now. She's just listening in and helping us like if we need facts or anything. But literally, she drops an article with sugar daddy with a Wikipedia page.
With the
Like this is so
Wikipedia link.
funny.
wait, really?
Yeah, she
Nia-
dropped a Wikipedia link.
Niyati, you're doing a
Oh,
great
God.
job.
Keep it up.
I just see sugar daddy Wikipedia.
That's amazing.
She said,
That's
"Thank you,
good.
LMAO."
Shami,
Okay,
what did you say?
I said Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie. Okay. Kind of judging you, but also I understand.
Tootsie Roll is one of those candies that are really cheap, and the teachers will use throughout the school year to just be like, "Oh, you did a good job," throw it at you, and then you're just like, "Oh, another Tootsie Roll." What's fun
Yeah.
about Tootsie Rolls, I will say though, when I used to, be a great kid in school, I would fairly earn the Tootsie Rolls, and I would combine all of them into a long like poop stick. Did you guys ever do this?
Yes.
And we'd like slap each other with it.
Nice
That's
long poop stick.
terrible.
Yeah.
Listen.
Okay, wait. What was? I didn't get. You said Mary Jane, Amber. That was yours.
No.
Oh, yours is
Mine,
yours.
mine was Twix, and I'm not a chocolate person, but I have a solid answer for this. Okay, like, do you ever realize like how high quality of a candy Twix is?
It's high
Like,
quality.
it
Twix
is
hits me right in the
so-
cavities.
Really?
Yeah, so hard. Like
It'll give me cavities. Because
Honestly,
it's
okay, I
so
feel
good.
that.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
the
it's
problem
like
is the caramel in any candy. It just stays there, and then it just like drills a hole into your teeth, and it's
Okay,
spicy.
This is why Twix is like the only chocolate that I'll accept. It is more than half cracker, has a thick layer of caramel, and is only coated lightly in chocolate. The chocolate's like barely noticeable. I like biting off the caramel and chocolate part and just like chewing that separately, and then eating the cracker to take away the taste of the chocolate in my mouth. And
You know
I
what?
don't
I was gonna say that I think Twix is a girl candy, but now it makes sense why it is.
Why do you think it's a girl chocolate?
Girls love Twix and they love Kit Kats.
Those are like really good though.
I know
Yeah,
they are,
those
but
are
like
solid candies.
but
Oh, like are you saying like lipstick
Because they're
wise?
like-
Like
no,
I
not
don't know.
lipstick. I think they're just like less. They're like a soft, like delicate candy.
It's
Like,
not harsh
Kit
on
Kat
the
has
chocolate.
Kit Kat
It
has the
a
wafer in it. Twix has the whatever that thing is in it.
like it's not too hard to chew. Like is
I don't
that
know,
what you're
I'm
It's
trying to-
not
just
a
making
whole
something
bunch
up.
of chocolate. It's balanced. Okay.
Niati's doing the Arthur Fist right now. She studied like gender. What was it? Gender studies.
and women studies.
She's like, this is wrong. What Faras is saying is wrong right now.
Yeah, so if I think that getting a Twix in your Halloween bag, you should just feel on top of the world because you just got a high quality candy, and those minis are the perfect amount of Twix that you would need ever. It's perfect. It's amazing.
I'm gonna give up Bon this year on Halloween.
You're
The
gonna
kids need
give
to know
up-
about Bon.
Oh,
Bon.
give
Yeah.
out. Like in Alif, sir, we have COVID happening. Let's do things
It's
on
fine.
the safer end.
It's fine. They need to know about the real crack candy, Bon. They're gonna be addicted, and they're gonna love it. That's the real Mary Jane.
You know, that's true. Do what you gotta do. Inform
2020.
these-
Everyone give out Bon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like,
and
if that's
Hajmullah.
trying to inform these
Hajmullah.
white people, like, that's okay.
Yo, Hajmullah, Chili Millie, Bon.
I think
And
Chili Millie's the
Chili
only
Millie.
viable one.
Did you guys ever have, like, these neighbors who used to, like, put candies in Ziploc bags to, like, separate them?
Oh, if they put it in the Ziploc bag, I'm
It's
throwing that thing
trashed.
out. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
I don't trust that.
Trashed immediately. Like, they would buy, like, the big bags and put them in Ziplocs. Like, ma'am, no.
There's
Like,
some
no.
people like trying so hard they'll like make those caramel apple things and then put them in the Ziploc
Oh,
bags.
I hate those.
Yeah, and
I
they're
don't,
like,
yo, why do people even like caramel apples? Like, they're impossible to
gross.
eat. They will break your jaw.
They're gross.
Have you ever
Eat
eaten
the
one?
apple. Eat the apple. Yeah, I have.
An apple is hard enough to eat.
That's true.
You're gonna coat it in a hard caramel? Are you kidding me? Do you have any respect? Oh my god! And then they put the freaking the
Peanuts.
candy canes on it during Christmas.
Oh.
Wait,
What are
What?
you
Don't
doing?
remind-
You've never seen
Yeah.
that?
They put candy canes on the apple?
They crushed candy
Yeah,
canes.
The crushed candy cane.
No, that's too much.
Yeah, that is definitely too much. I don't know.
You wanna
Well,
do the
guys.
intro now? We've been.
I
too
mean, you
long
guys
on
were
this
talking
intro.
about candies and
I'm
cavities
getting,
and
I'm getting
chocolates.
turned right now. You need to do the intro so we can stop this subject because I have too much to say.
All right,
I
thank you
low-key
guys
need a
for
Twix.
tuning into an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Sherman,
I'm Faras.
My name is Amber.
and this is brought to you by Alif Theory, the strangest and greatest podcast in the game
On the planet.
on the planet. You can email us and send us your music at strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to listen to this podcast anywhere, you can. Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Wait. I'm sorry.
No,
if you'd
no,
like to,
no,
hold on. I'm
no,
sorry.
no,
we
no,
missed
no,
a part.
No.
If you'd like
And
to
you can
send
watch
any
the
music
visual-
and your
blah, blah, blah.
cousin is making the music, tell your cousin to send the music in because his music is probably better than yours and anybody else you know.
We've been doing this for a couple months, and we still have not gotten a cousin to send their music. So I please
If you're a
beg
cousin,
you,
please send it in and make sure you mention the cousin so I can prove my point.
I want Amber to shut up about this. So get your cousin to send their music, or at least fake cousin, whatever. Just so Amber can be happy and get this cousin
And make sure they're
EDM
fire.
rap song.
Only mention it's your cousin if it's really good music.
No, please, just any cousin send music. Like even if it's just.
I just feel like this is gonna go on for like 20 more years because Amber doesn't understand that like a joke probably you should tell like 2 or 3 times.
No. A joke is good forever.
Is it, guys? And you can watch the visual aspect on this YouTube. I'm just like so. My head is just all over the place right now after these.
It's
cousin things.
okay.
You can watch this podcast on YouTube, and you can see where I'm living right now. My current
Where are you? I
situation.
forgot to
It's
ask you.
spooky.
It's a spooky
Are you,
area.
are you in a saw set?
Guys, the podcast budget has gone down, and I'm not. I don't know. Just trying to create a story, and I am now living in a new area, and it's very scary.
Did somebody pull out of their payment? Their you know what I'm trying to say?
No,
their support.
No, because we have the best supporters in the game.
Wow.
Shimmer just has moved to a more minimalist lifestyle.
Yeah.
He's living on movie sets, and currently it's Halloween, so he's like, "Yo, Jigsaw, what's good? Let me come through your set.
Yeah, let's play a game.
Let's play a game."
Yeah. And if you'd like to follow us on social media and play games with us, you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Strange Flavors. And yeah, if you'd like to support this podcast like our wonderful supporters at Strange Flavors Town, we've got executive producers Bobber Bagel and Cassie's Cupcakes supporting this podcast. You can also, in the link down below, and get your own store at Strange Flavors Town.
Yes. Open up a new
shop.
business. If you want to be a business owner, start a business here today.
It's a
great investment.
today. And
That's
also,
good. That's a
we
good one,
have
Amber.
an amazing YouTube channel called RwnlPwnl, and we have a Patreon for that. And we have wonderful supporters on that are
Just had a
patrons.
video call with us.
Just have a video call. We have exclusive perks, exclusive videos, exclusive merch, all that. Special perks that you can also check out. Patreon.com/RwnlPwnl.
All of that is linked in the description as always, so please be sure to subscribe and follow us. It really helps us out, guys. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that would be amazing. You guys are kind enough to leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts and other places, but I want to read this one that just came in recently on Apple Podcasts. Of course, we have a 5-star rating, so thank you guys so much for that.
Thank you, guys.
Ooh.
We're not just joking when we say we're the strangest and greatest podcast in the game. It's in the facts. It's in the statistics. 5 out of 5.
Somebody should go write that in a review that this is the strangest and greatest
Yes.
podcast in the game.
That's actually fire. And if you write your review, we might read it on this podcast.
This review comes from Bud6161.
Oh,
Bud.
We love our buds. It says spoke to Faras last night.
did you?
Whoa.
I don't know. It says the guy's a gem. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but he was very good to talk to. Glad he showed me the podcast. I listened to a few episodes and they're really good. 5 stars. Thank you,
Wow.
Bud6161. I actually
Ross,
know who this is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this the person that you were talking to that's conservative, like a
Guys,
strong
guys.
conservative?
Whoa, conservative is a very conservative word. He is a white nationalist.
Okay,
Oh,
there we
dang.
go.
Legit.
Dang.
I spoke
Did you convince him
of what?
of changing?
No, he's a white nationalist. He's probably looking at me like, "Yo, you change."
But you guys talked, right? So you
Yeah, we
couldn't
talk
change-
because I'm trying to understand like what even is. I hear that term a lot, right? White nationalist. Oh my God, these people. What are they even about, right? So I'm like trying to understand where he's coming from, and we had such an interest. We actually talked for I think 2, maybe 3 hours or something like that.
Wow.
Did you become one after?
This was I am. Look at me. No, I'm just kidding. I pour bleach on myself. No, it was interesting because we were talking for that long, and this is over chat roulette, by the way. I've been doing this. I've done this before the quarantine, COVID, and all that started, but now I like it more than ever because there's so many more people on it, and it gives me perspective into people I would never talk to. That's the whole reason that this podcast even exists. Is it's just like, just our love for talking to strangers. But anyways, this guy, it was so interesting because he didn't want me to leave the conversation. And, throughout it, he was like, you know what? You're a really cool guy. I actually like Muslims. Oh, I actually like Pakistanis. And I was like, wait, so like, what's your deal? Like, why are you this way? He had a MAGA hat on in the beginning, and he was doing like a Nazi salute. And I think he was trying to troll me, maybe. Maybe that's what his experience on chat roulette, where he just sits there and he does this thing to piss people off. But I'm not somebody who gets pissed off in that way in the first place. I'm just like, I look at it and I'm like, whoa, like, how are you doing, man? Like, what's going on? Well, how's your night or whatever? And then he's like, he felt weird. So he turned the hat around. And I was like, wait, why are you doing that? Like, don't you believe in that? He's like, yeah, it's just a little confusing. And I'm just like, who's confused? Are you confused? But, I even asked him things like, do you like do you like comedy? He said he does stand up. I was like, are you a fan of comedy? He's like, yeah. I was like, so do you like Dave Chappelle? And he was like, yeah, he's the greatest ever. I was like, yes, but he's black. And he's like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't like black people. And I was like, do you like sports? And he's like, yeah. I was like, so who are your favorite teams? And we just went through this whole thing where I'm trying to understand, like, wait, you watch these people, you're entertained by them, they're, you look up to them in some degree, but his stance was basically that we're never going to get along person to person. He's like, I can watch Dave Chappelle in football and whatever, but there needs to be a white state where everyone just gets along with each other in that way. And he's like, black people can have their own place. And and what was most interesting was, I didn't know this, but like white nationalists actually hate Jewish people more than black people. And he was like really saying a lot of crazy things about Jewish people. And he was like pro-Palestine because of that. And there was a lot that I basically learned, and I was just fascinated by people actually having to. I was like, you're missing out on so much culture. Like, culture's, to me, I feel like the best thing that has come out of humanity and civilization is just the ability to create tradition and, share food and art and all of that kind of stuff. But
that's a pretty cool review. Thanks for leaving that.
I was gonna wrap it up by saying it was obviously a very long conversation, and I think that we're friends now. I have his email, and I'm gonna visit him someday and go to his. He actually tried to add me on his what's it called? Group. His
you need to get him on the podcast, okay?
I wanted him to get on it, but I don't think he's comfortable. He's like,
hey Bud, we need you on the podcast.
Bud,
what if he was anonymous?
Yeah, I'll talk to him again. But we got to go visit him.
You on the podcast.
Let's go visit him. He lives in a trailer park with a bunch of other.
I'm down to vlog it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
A vlog documentary.
Wow.
Okay, you guys don't care about this subject anymore, so I will.
Who said that?
I will wave the white flag.
Said that?
I will wave my new white flag.
Oh my god.
It's not funny. But low-key. But also not. Okay. What are we doing on the podcast today, guys? It's obviously a strange exchange where we sit here and get to talk to each other. My two best friends and my new best friend, Niyati, who has to listen in on this and probably is cringing and clenching her fist. We'll see afterwards. But should we take on some questions, or Amber, do you want to give us your update first?
I'm cool with whatever.
Let's do the questions. Let's do the questions.
The questions first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear these questions. Are they good?
Okay, chill. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they good?
I mean, yeah, they're always, people sometimes put in lots of thoughts. Sometimes
I just want to say, if we've heard, here and there that like, we love the Strange Exchange, this and that. If you love the Strange Exchange and you love listening to us talk, and you're ever like, hey, I'd really like to hear them talk about this next Strange Exchange, like, make sure you go ahead and add to that, because we do, if you don't follow us, I know we already gave this promo, but we do put them out in our stories, and we get, like, really cool topics. So just keep an eye out for that next time. Yeah. And we
also,
do these around
if you're going through, like, dating issues, we used to have some, like, dating, like, people used to submit their
dating
relationship issues and stuff, and that was really funny and fun.
I actually like doing those, even though I have no idea what I'm talking about.
But those are
great.
Fun. But we miss those, so.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's interesting. This comes from Rida. What's the craziest or funniest thing you heard someone say about you?
Ooh. That's good.
I wish I was prepped before.
Or is there something generally that people say about you sometimes that you're just like, not fazed by it?
Oh, people, like, I hear this a lot, that people think that I think I'm the shit.
I mean,
I have, like, I'm like, one day I'll be like, oh, like, I'm cute today, and then, like, for 5 days in a row I'll be like,
I remember we were in public, and someone comes up to us, and they're, like, excited to meet us or whatever, and they're like, you guys are shorter in person. And then I just like laugh, and that's happened multiple times.
Well, they were talking to me and my brother probably.
Yeah, probably.
Because this is true.
It's just so funny.
Yeah, I've heard some wild things about me. I can't think of anything right now. Basically, I mean,
You guys think that I think I'm the shit?
Amber, you say it yourself though.
Yeah, but I say it like jokingly.
So what are we supposed to do about it?
Yeah.
I mean,
You guys see me crying like every like half an hour. Like, what do you like?
that
do you
doesn't mean
think-
anything. You can still think that like you're the greatest thing in the world and then be crying because it's not true. I'm just kidding.
So exactly.
I'm just kidding. That's a good question. I'm gonna come back to it if I think of anything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is from Les Fonds.
Les fonds.
I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Do you think part of Desi culture is toxic? If yes, will this change or will we repeat history? Also, if yes, please tell what it is that makes our culture toxic.
Oh yeah.
Are we toxic?
Comparisons.
Are we
Comparisons.
toxic?
I
I mean,
Oh yeah.
go ahead.
I think comparisons. We've kind of talked about this a little bit here and there, but comparisons, I think, and like competition between families, I think that's what drives the toxicity. But there's like two sides to that coin, you know, like usually it's about like, oh, this child's like studying to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and then they'll talk shit about, you know, another person's kid that isn't doing that and stuff like that.
There's good and bad to that too, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, our communities thrive and are generally
And
much
that's
more
what I'm saying,
successful
like-
because of that. But what's the mental health effects on that to the kids?
Yeah.
You know, that's something I think you could do that in a healthy way without making it a competitive thing. So as this the generation that's kind of growing up here and the kids of those you know, first generation immigrants, I think a lot of people see that and maybe are working on not doing that in the future. Maybe our kids will all be bums because we don't press them hard enough and we don't hit them with sandals. Who knows? But there's different approaches to raising your kids, and this is one of the things that, if done too much, I think could be toxic.
I think there is an idea of like ummah, right? Like, okay, like one religion. Cool. I don't have any problems with that because I do think that in some way, in some form, there's unity. But I think that when it comes to Desi culture, we are so quick to be like, oh, like our own is the best and this and that. But then when it comes to actually applying like the rules of the ummah, or and this is speaking to Desi Muslims because that's the only experience that I have. I'm not really sure of like Desi Hindu experiences or Desi Christian experiences or Desi Sikh experiences, but it's like they're all skewed when it comes to cultural viewpoints. Like recently, because I just turned 26, like there's a lot of talk of marriage going around, and like we speak of like, okay, like I've heard people be like, oh, you know, we need, like, Muslims are the best because we don't, like, devalue each other. Like, we all look at each other as one and this and that. And then now I'm coming around that we're supposed to. And then we have, but we claim that we do. I've heard it be claimed. But then it comes to, like, the idea of, like, marriage that it's coming about. And they're like, oh, like, what caste is that person from? And I'm like, hold on, what? And I got into this deep conversation with a family member about this. And they're like, no, the caste does matter because one caste is better than the other. And I was like, why is that? And they're like, oh, because, you know, they're better habits, they're better mannerisms, they're better educated. And I literally was pointing out, like, flaws left and right in that, like, okay, we know people of every caste that have these same qualities that you're talking about. And I know people in our own caste that don't have the qualities that you're speaking of. And it was just, like, such a flawed thought. So I just think it's toxic in the way that, like, we claim ourselves to be one thing, but we truly are not when we, like, go into it.
Word. Okay. Jaden Vargus says, if you could be any Desi street food, what would you be?
Oh, the corn with the
Chali.
masala.
I was going to say that.
And the lemon. Oh.
That
What else
okay,
is
there's the corn that's rolled around in the hot sand, and
it's
then you put the
salt. It's salt.
It's salt.
I'm sure we
black-
have like different variations of this. I don't know.
No, the sand
Well,
that you're
there's
talking about
there's
is
two
is,
sands
is
that I know
salt.
of. One is the steamed one that is like really watery, and they put the lemon and
We don't do that in the street.
chaat masala one.
In Karachi.
We have those. We have that stand, and we have the one with the. I call it sand.
I thought it was sand too. I had to look it up.
Because I thought it was just like that's how it gets really hot is like the sand, but
It's sand like salt. Yeah, that's the only
shawarmas.
one I know of. I don't know of anything else that's street food aside from corn.
Golgappe. Oof. Golgappe.
Frost, we need to come around your way. Like you have all these.
Bro,
You
I'm from
don't have
Lahore.
Golgappe?
What you mean?
You don't have
Right,
Golgappe?
Not in the streets.
If you want street food, like Lahore is the place.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally anywhere you go. The first after I hadn't visited Pakistan for 10 years, as soon as we landed, this is back in 2013. My mom made a strict rule: you will not eat anything off the streets. The first night we landed, my uncle took us out. We had shawarmas from the street, and then golgappe, and then lassi, which is dairy.
Wow.
With
God.
malai, and then ended with ban and ice cream. And
That's
we laid on the couches for 1 week straight. We felt like we were going to die.
Wait, so you did get sick?
Extremely sick. And let's
it
just
worth it?
say it was absolutely worth it. Let's just say all the liquids that were coming out, and there was only liquids coming out of the rear, they were black.
Oh my god.
In color.
For us, there's too much detail.
This is
So-
now a rated R podcast.
How's it rated R? I'm just telling
very
you.
There's
graphic.
too much of a visual.
It's very
Like the
graphic.
one thing you're not supposed to do when you travel abroad is like drink their water and drink their milk, and we did both.
Yeah, that water is. Yeah, you gotta be getting that Nestle Kapani.
If so, to answer your question, Jaden, if you could be any Desi street food, I would say I would be the water, because that water hits so hard, it literally will knock you out for a week.
Honestly, this would have been a great intro question.
Yeah, I think he actually asked it as an intro question originally, and then he was like, you know what, they're not answering my question, I'm going to answer.
Oh,
All right. Okay. This one comes from Uvidu, who has asked a question before, and he's cool, and he games with Shimmer. Uvidu says, what was the moment you realized that you had to take responsibility for your life?
Jeez.
Whoa, I didn't. I still haven't taken responsibility. No, just kidding. You know what? I'll say from my personal experience, I think once my older sister left the house after she got married, because she was the oldest child and she was, always exceptional in academics and everything else, there was no pressure on the other siblings as much, especially. And once she left, I was like, "Ooh, it's time. It's go time. I got to start, making an impact, showing what I'm all about."
What about you, Shami?
I'm still thinking. You might have to go.
Oh, mine's gonna be like the complete opposite of what Frost said. I used to like pretend like I thought the tooth fairy was real. Like even after I knew it wasn't, but in my head I had still convinced myself. So like I had been losing teeth up until 5th grade, and everybody in my class knew that that it wasn't real or anything. And one day in the car, and I knew I was really pushing the limits here. One day in the car, I was like, "Dad, the tooth fairy didn't leave me anything yesterday." And then straight up, in the most straight up fashion, he goes, "The tooth fairy is not real, Amber." And I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "I will give you the money every time you lose your teeth, but I'm not going to have you walking around on this earth thinking that some magical creature is leaving money underneath their pillow when it's me." And I was like, but, and I just start bawling.
Hold on, real quick. This is the moment you realize you need to take responsibility. All right.
I was so like in a daze after that, and I was like, "Yo, you know what? Shit's real out here. Like nobody's creating fairy tales for me. There's no Santa Claus anymore. There's no tooth fairy. There's none of that. It's just
You believed in Santa Claus?
I mean, like, I'm just saying that era was like when kids were
I think
starting
it's
to
another
realize
issue
the
we
real
have
world.
to.
No, I'm just
Bro,
saying
I told all.
I
I was such a douche. I told all the kids in my in my elementary. I was like, "You guys know Santa isn't real, right?"
Oh my God, Frosty, were that kid.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
the
Muslim.
one
I
that
was
parents would be
like,
like,
"Bruh."
"Hey, don't tell my child that Santa's not real." So I'd look at them and be like, "What did Santa get you?"
Okay, wait, real quick, going back to this. So you realized at that age, because of the Tooth Fairy and because of Santa
moment,
Claus?
I was like, oh, people aren't going to sugarcoat things for me anymore. Like, it's real out here.
But take responsibility.
Yep.
Like your whole life, like that was the one thing that was holding you back.
The Tooth Fairy.
That one thing is what made me like. That's what like that feeling came up for me when you asked that question. That's when I realized shit was real.
Vito, I have a feeling Amber might still be in the phase that you're talking about. I don't know if she's out of the phase.
Yeah. For me,
guys, I'm using the opportunity to mix a question and an experience together, okay?
Amber, you did a great job. I just want to say.
Of what?
I'm so proud of you. I'm just trying to
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
You did so good.
You did so good, Amber. That's so
Look
much
at
better than
you.
mine. For me, I was just right outside of high school. I was like, dang, like life is real. Like growing up, I was
No,
like,
but what was it that hit you?
as soon as I graduated, like the day after I graduated,
Mm-hmm.
like everyone's just like celebrating and stuff like that after high school, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wait, I get to decide the fate of my future, like now.
Oh, yeah, because you're like, you're held by the hand.
Yeah,
so to
I was
say,
held by the
throughout
hand,
high
like, throughout high school, middle school, and then after that, I was like, wait, I have to decide, where I'm going, what I'm doing, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, this is life.
Okay, I could have given a response like that and been like, "Oh yeah, the first time I had to pay rent," but like I didn't.
Amber, you
okay,
did
I
so
shared an
good.
experience.
I'm so proud of you.
I shared an experience.
Did
a
you use the
life-changing
Tooth Fairy
experience.
money for your rent?
No, I was out there working 3 days a week with a full time.
As soon as Amber figured out the Tooth Fairy's in there, she was doing stocks and buying real estate out of 5th grade. That's what happened. All right.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Polo Man, what up, Polo Man? Hadi, he probably doesn't even listen to this podcast, but it's okay. He asked the question.
Hi, Hadi.
This is Shimmer's uncle, if you don't know, but
His
he said,
real uncle.
He said, "Can we have Amber go on a date with Zen?"
Why'd you ask this question?
That's so funny.
Okay, wait. People don't even know what's going on. So real quick, on our last vlog, SHAH-AMEER, me, and a bunch of other friends, we attended a wedding, a COVID wedding, where we ran into a bunch of these fans. One of them was like, "Yo, what's going on? I watch your videos, this and that." And he goes, "Where's Amber?" And we are like, "Oh, she didn't come. Why?" And he's like,
"You like her?"
Yeah,
and
he was like,
"Low-key."
"Yo, Loki, she's hot." and then he was like, we were like, "Yo, you should send her a snap right now,"
because it's her
And then-
birthday. Because it was her birthday that day.
And then he got really excited, and we kind of like played it up and stuff, and pretty much it ended up being he sent a snap to her that said, "Happy birthday, my Kashmiri cougar." And then from there, we had a follow-up with Amber where she snapped him back. And then the vlog ended with them two getting married. But it's this whole joke. They've never met before. And that's what Polo Man is asking. Can we have Amber go on a date with Zen? Amber, will you go on a date with your biggest fan and supporter?
No, but I have a reason.
Whoa.
Why. I have a reason why.
Zen.
I was all for it. I was
Close your
all
ears,
for
Zen.
it. I told this kid so many times, when you turn 18, hit me up. But now I'm going to say no. And let me tell you why. Listen,
so
we played
it's
it
an
up.
underage thing?
We had no, it's not at all an underage
You could
thing.
be
Listen,
you could be the Kylie or you
listen,
could be the
I have
Tyga
low
to his Kylie
standards.
Jenner.
Okay, listen, my standards are low. Okay, this is not an issue. Let me tell you what is an issue. Okay, this man was like, "Oh, what's good, Amber?" on the vlog. He wants to be commenting on all the funny things. Haha, hee hee hoo. Okay, cool. Wants to be a part of the jokes. Tell me why this boy doesn't even follow me on Instagram.
Oh.
Zen.
Okay, hold up. Maybe he's like saving it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to take gazes at my future
He
wifey.
only wants to see you in person. He wants to follow you in real life.
He doesn't want to take gazes, but that was his first interaction when it came to my the topic of me was, yo, she kind of hot. Not like, oh,
He's
I think she's a
confident.
Wait, does a guy have to follow you for you to go on a date with him?
No, I just think it's interesting that he's soaking up all the clout from this, but doesn't even follow me.
Oh,
Like,
you think he's just doing it for the attention?
they'll do anything for clout. Offset said it first.
Listen, we have to see this through. I think you give him at least one date. We mic you up and we see if it's authentic.
I'm down for a vlog.
He shows up in like a
For his
Bentley.
18th birthday, we'll make a vlog.
He's
of
got
his
shades
18th
on.
birthday and we'll go on a date. But generally, nah, you out. You out. You want to do it for clout?
Zen,
I'm going to do it for clout.
Follow Amber.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he follows.
No, I say don't. I say don't.
Yeah, don't follow me now.
Do you do you follow him?
No.
What's the issue then?
Listen, I saw the thing. I clicked on his name. It doesn't say follow back. I could have clicked follow back.
Because he's not trying to come off as a fan. He's not trying to come off
I
as a
couldn't
fan.
click follow back because he doesn't follow me. But
He's
he
not trying to
does
come
follow who? One person, Faras.
He's playing hard to get.
Yeah, he did ask me for the follow, but I was like, you know what? He's a kid. It's okay.
Yeah. But he doesn't
All
follow
right.
me.
We'll see it through. Oh, on the same subject. This comes from AK Barry is great.
Okay.
Thoughts on Muslim influencers turning away from Islam for their clout?
Are people doing that?
Sheesh.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think
are
they're
people-
doing it for clout.
I actually don't know people that were like that made this a decision.
I think I
but-
know what she's talking about. I've seen pictures like, it would be like before, and they'd be like in a hijab, and then after, and they're not like wearing.
This is not
the
an
hijab
exclusively Muslim thing, though, right? When you are receiving a certain amount of attention, there are people that go a certain way, which, you know, they lose out on a lot of their values, or, you know, cross people out of their lives and change for whatever reasons. So this is, I wouldn't say this is an exclusively Muslim thing, right?
I would think it's like even if we talk about like the top people, like Lily saying, was, I think still identifies as Sikh, but you know, used to go to the temple a lot, all that type of stuff. Now she says she's just spiritual. If you look at like Aziz Ansari, I don't think he's ever identified with it, whatever. Like a lot of people, they say that they're spiritual, but they're not religious. And I'm obviously not at that place, so I can't speak for them, but I do think it's easier to become spiritual and not religious because you come across so many morally conflicting situations commonly or more commonly, and it's harder to have like strong beliefs about those things when you have to interact with them or you're in that space.
Yeah, but they're not gaining clout from it.
No, I don't
Like-
think that they're getting
like-
clout from it.
But like what this person's asking is like, this person will, on the internet, will like kind of say that they've kind of left their religion or whatever, and people will argue like,
Okay,
people-
so in an Islamic sense, right? I think the way that for this question you could do that, you know, you leave the religion for the clout, is if you like, you're like, all right, you know what, I want to dress this way, and it's like less, or it's more revealing, and you feel like that this religion suppresses you.
Also, it's I don't know if it's completely like leaving the religion. Maybe it's just their dressing habit. I don't know.
Right, and maybe that's how people judge them, right?
Yeah.
You know, some people go off and they're like, you know, I want to get tatted and I want to get, you know, and again, there's a lot of people that use that sort of like star look where it actually helps them to look a certain way and gain attention. And when a Muslim does it, it's the same thing, but now, you know, you obviously have, you're being judged through a different lens. Now, on the other side, there's people that will actually turn towards a religion, where there's people, you know, you see Kanye West and Justin Bieber go back towards Jesus and Christianity. You have Muhammad Ali, who came out and converted, and Mike Tyson, and just recently we saw Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is a UFC fighter, and he is very vocal and obvious about how he puts his religion first. So, you know, you have both sides of it. It's just kind of like, it's not even about religion, but when you see somebody who is the same, or, you know, not to say that people don't change, but like still holds on to certain like great values that they had from the beginning. Like people that never left their friends. I'm thinking about like someone like Amine, for example, who is a rapper from Portland, who has always included his, you know, three best friends or whatever since the beginning of his career to when his career took off. All of these sort of values, whether it be religious or not, when you hold on to the really good ones and you're still that like same person, then people respect that more. And that's just the way that society perceives you in general. Is that fair to say? Good question. I think it's an interesting subject.
Yes.
Let's move on though. Just a Soph asks, why did y'all start a podcast?
We all like to talk a lot.
Why? Actually, Amber got me into podcasts. She showed me the Serial podcast, which had Adnan Syed on it, and
Took you to court too.
yeah, and I actually did a journalism paper there where I get to sit in the media section. Even though Amber brought me, she had to sit in the back in the peasant seats.
It's okay. I made friends with the fam and got to sit up front later.
Yeah, well, I got to sit next to, what's her name? Sarah
Koenig.
Yeah, who made Serial.
Yeah, you did. I was a little jelly, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and she was
And
like,
then you brought Saad, and Saad lied and said he was media. You gave him a pen and paper, and he sat right next to you.
this is true. Well, Saad sneaks us into anything. That's our friend. But yeah, then I just started listening to a bunch more podcasts, especially on my commutes to college. And you know, I have always had this curiosity of just talking to people and wanting to get to know people, and came up with this idea to have strangers on this podcast. And eventually, you know, I had a different set of co-hosts in the beginning, but brought Amber and SHAH-AMEER on because we were already doing, you know, a lot of media related stuff. And then they were like, oh, you should have had us on from the beginning, you loser. And then I was like, well, whatever. And that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Accurate?
Yeah, I think I would have started a podcast if you hadn't asked me to join this one.
Yeah, you said you were going to
But-
start one. And
but
then you said
I-
you were going to start another one.
Yeah, the thing is, I do enjoy like being on here, and it gives us like a good like 3-person dynamic. But I'm glad that you asked us to come on here, because it's like we already did so many things together that it just like fits so perfectly with all
Yeah,
of us.
it made sense.
But I would definitely have a podcast regardless.
What would
on
it be
this-
called?
on this one?
Post Tooth Fairy.
I used to want to call it unapologetic, like or unapologetically something or unapologetic.
Damn.
Or it was initially unapologetic brown girl, but that's back then that would have been cool. It just wouldn't stay too cool now.
I'm not going to lie. If I ever saw a podcast called Unapologetic Brown Girl, I would hard skip on that.
Yeah. Well, now it's cringy.
You know,
Yeah.
because, you
But
know,
like
nowadays...
2016, that's a hard, like, yes. They'd be like, oh yeah, like,
Not for me.
brown girl. Wow.
I mean, it would fit in Amber's niche.
Yeah.
Like,
I
don't
get
think
it.
it's
I get it, but
targeting-
but you know, it's already attracting a certain energy and audience, and
And that's not you.
that's not you.
yeah, but I think it calls for like a lot of validation that like isn't always backed
A
up.
title calls for a lot of validation for us. You're stretching. Stop.
Damn.
You're
No,
not
like-
Elastigirl.
That would be like if I had a podcast called like F political correctness or something,
Okay.
and then it's
That's
like
such a general topic.
yeah, but it would attract like a lot of people that are like, yeah, finally someone that gets it. Yeah, we're gonna be raw and uncensored on this thing.
That's quite literally like the most successful podcast, though, is specific topics about specific things catering to specific people.
For
like,
sure,
there's
but
podcasts
if
that
you
guys
call
like.
yourself that, then it paints you as like, as something that is just like I don't know if I'm gonna be willing to listen to anyone else besides people.
Somebody
that
else would have
are in
recommended
this.
it to you. Like, do you remember when I first gave you a list of podcast names? This is like back then. One of the names I gave you was called Guys We Effed. And you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I would literally never listen to this. And then you started listening to it, and then you liked it.
And now our
Absolutely.
format's based off of it.
There
That's
we go.
true.
That's
This
true.
is actually true. The format is inspired by that, along with
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
But
But overall,
it was weird though. It was like what is this? It wasn't like they didn't call themselves like super liberal girls who talk about this or something. It was just like, whoa, this is a crazy title. What was this about?
I think you're thinking unapologetic in a political sense. I'm saying unapologetic in a batshit crazy sense. Like, I'm crazy.
I know
and
what you
I'm
I know what you
unapologetic.
mean by it, and I know you, so I know that like you would mean a certain thing. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if I saw that
Generally.
and didn't know you, that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you.
yeah. And also on my perspective, I also had a live show before even
yeah.
Frost asked me.
Yeah.
So, and it was live streamed and all that stuff. So,
Where was it
perfect.
live streamed on?
Facebook. And we do it like weekly or whatever.
It was
We just
cool.
What'd you
interview
guys do
people,
on there?
So, interviewed people.
Oh.
he'd
And you
interview
like brought up stuff on the
screen and stuff.
on the screen.
Yeah, it was like my friend's dad. He was like producing the show, but it was fun.
That's so cool.
It was exciting. So
It's good to
That's
get
nice.
like, you know, practice, and that's what I was essentially doing too. I was getting my buckets in before, and then now, you know, it's you build the chemistry and all that, so it's nice.
yeah.
All right, let's do one more. Okay, let's do this one. Ozzy Pack asks, are we becoming more like our parents than we wanted to be? Is that really a bad thing? Are you guys becoming your parents? Is that a bad thing? I think when you're little, sometimes you point out things like, oh, I never want to be like that. Like when I have kids, I'm going to be this and that. I think as you get older, I'll speak for myself. I understand my parents more. I ask them questions that I like about their childhood, how they were raised, and the things that they were interested in, and the dreams that they had. And it's amazing to hear where they come from, and how much I can relate to them, and then how much I can see that like the way that they were raised and the things that they were raised on affected them in certain ways. But they slowly become your friends. I think we've talked about that before, but it's nice to see that, and I don't mind if there's really great things that I can get from my parents, and you know, the things that I think that could be improved on, that if they weren't ever able to reach certain things, I would love to improve on those things.
Yeah. I think the coolest part about like parents is like when I go to like a friend's house and then I like meet their parents or like see how they interact, and I can see qualities, especially like when they're getting older, like our friends are getting older, like I can see the qualities that they inherited from their parents, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting, or like that's really cool. And I think we all have like qualities from our parents, which is like,
it's funny
I find
because
fascinating.
you said that one time, like when my dad was like acting a certain way, you were like, oh, is that where Daur gets it from? And I was like, yeah, exactly.
It was like exactly like clone like how they act, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I used to be like, when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to spend the night at people's houses who had brothers and dads. I like wasn't like allowed to do a lot of things that I like at the time like was so upset about, because I was like, look at my other friends, like they're totally allowed to do that, like why can't I do that? And like I was like, I mean, that's me as a middle schooler, that's probably how I talk like that. And I was like, okay, when I'm a parent, I'm never going to do this. I'm always going to be on my kid's side. And quite literally, as I get older, I'm like, oh my God, those rules made so much sense. Like, imagine having a child that you brought into this world that you, like, vow to protect from the day that they're born. And then you come across a situation and your child doesn't at all understand where you're coming from, but there's so much, like, actual logic behind it that makes so much sense. And I think the most fun part about realizing the same characteristic traits is like I have a lot of qualities of my father, and some of my mother, and like when I look at them, I always like, I'm like, okay, I do the same exact thing as my dad, and then I look at what in their life molded them to be that way, and how they had to build that characteristic to like survive or like, you know, be the best version of themselves. And then I just like gain even more respect for them.
Yeah. They become cute when you're older. You're just
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Look at these guys, especially when they're old.
Trying their best out here.
Wait, real quick. This was funny. My dad does this all the time. I think maybe this is a Desi dad thing that some people can relate to, but I was eating Doritos like 2 days ago, and I finished the bag and I threw it away, and then I was like licking my fingers or whatever, and then my mom's like, oh, what'd you just eat? I was like, oh, those spicy Doritos, I love those. I say, okay. Yesterday my dad comes home and he has these 2 giant family sized bags of Doritos. He brings them downstairs to my room, and he's like, look at this. And I was like, Doritos. And he's just like, yeah, your mom told me you like these. And then I was like, yeah, thanks. And then I was like, I don't like eat them down here though. Like, I don't want to get messy. I'm just going to go put them in the kitchen. And I kind of felt bad, but he was like so happy to like bring me these. And then he took pictures of my room and then left. He always does this random thing where he like touches things, or like I don't know if it's like an attention thing, but it's just cute.
Definitely
That's
the
how-
Doritos thing. That's a Desi dad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Like,
out of
they'll
eggs.
get a bunch of.
I told
Oh,
him,
yeah.
I called him, I was like, Daddy, like, we ran out of eggs. And I sounded sad. This man bought 38 cartons of eggs. 38. This is not like, 38 eggs. 38 dozen eggs.
Oh my god.
We had over 370 eggs in this house.
That's insane.
I was like, okay. Well,
Thanks for sending in all those questions, guys. I know there was a few more, but let's get it ready to close this out. Do you guys want to Amber, you were going to give us a Minder update because I think people are dying to know.
that's true. People have been asking about the Minder update. Okay, let's
This is
see,
from
guys.
last time when you told us that there was guys on Minder trying to find a second wife.
And that was
So-
also speaking to my Minder experience. Where we left off last, I had been on 2 dates with somebody, and dates is a very
Loose term.
loose term. It was like we went and talked together in the same location.
It's
Well,
a
that's
date.
a
You
date.
Call it a date.
That's a date, right?
Okay,
You can call it a
sure.
date.
Yeah, but I don't know. In American terms, date
American
is
terms,
like-
it's
yeah, it's not at all. So, just a little update. We never spoke since that podcast, ever
Wow.
again.
So Minder
But-
doesn't work anymore.
No, so this is what I
Wait,
okay.
it's salams now since you last
Oh,
told
yeah.
us all
Right, so
this.
that's what I
Changed.
say. So they
Salam.
changed from Minder to Salams, and it quite literally says "Hi, Dower." It says Minder, and then in parentheses it
God.
says Salams. And it's funny because I've learned a few things from that experience, which is one, what happened?
He's just like talking to me while I'm doing a podcast. Like, he's like, "Did you see my?" No, get out of here. Go.
Well,
I don't
what'd
want
he ask?
McDonald's.
What do you ask? What do you ask?
He's asking me if I want McDonald's.
Didn't
That's
answer the
so
question.
sweet. Yeah,
But he
tell him.
texted me. But he texted me. I could have texted him back.
Why didn't you text him
Yeah,
back?
why don't you
That's
text
why
him
he
back?
came
Trust
down.
me. Trust me. He did that on purpose. You remember how I told you my dad? He came down. He wanted that attention. That's what. Remember how we talked about he's the younger version of him? That's what he did just now.
Are
It
you
sounds
sure?
like
That
he's
was-
a
No,
caring
but
brother and that you're upset.
Yeah, your dad's caring for you. Who's getting those Doritos to care for you?
No, I know.
It
but
And
seems
Dower
like you have a
touching
hard
down.
time accepting care from the ones that love you most.
I think he wants to be on the podcast, and you're not letting him. I think that's a deeper rooted issue.
Bro, he didn't even show up to our Patreon Zoom meeting. He wants to be on the podcast. Come on.
He just wants to know if you want the Travis Scott meal or not.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so there's a few things that I've learned from my Minder experience. Okay, ready? One, I've decided I'm not following these people on social media anymore because now we're just on each other's social media. I don't need to be following you. I don't need to be seeing your stories. You don't need to be seeing my stories. Like it's kind of.
So why does Zen need to follow you?
Because we didn't we didn't give ourselves a shot yet, so we could have been a thing, you know.
No,
Two
you
thi-
got
on
caught
that same
like the
note,
Tooth Fairy.
you know how Apple, you can share your activity with somebody.
Oh my
Right?
god, Amber.
So me and him actually were sharing our activities with each other, and every
What
time
activities?
so if you run, if you
I'm serious. I don't know.
if you run and you burn 300 calories in that run, the people who you share activity to, they'll get a notification on their watch that says Amber just completed a run and she burned 300 calories, something like that, right? So we started sharing them, and he would hit me up every time he'd be like, "Oh my god, you're killing it! You did double your thing!" Da da da. That was that was a part of our daily conversation, I guess.
Wow, Amber, you were
And-
sneaky. You're finding fake gym partners.
Low key. And it's just, and now I got a notification today that was oh, blah blah blah, finished a run, and I was like, I don't care.
Damn.
This doesn't need to be a notification on my
What if the
phone.
next notifications is blah blah blah? I miss you.
except except that won't happen because we never even got to that level.
Let me tell you why deleting your exes off of your apps is a bad idea.
Okay, I actually agree with what you're saying, but yeah, go ahead. He's
You
not
already
my
do?
ex. I already agree
We're gonna
with
call
that.
them.
That's a
We're gonna
bad
call them
idea.
your exes. Look,
You gonna call them my exes? Hold on. This whole thought
No,
is
the
flawed.
fake gym partners.
Listen,
like ex. I'm saying in the terms like xed out exes. All right.
no, that's not what exes mean. So let's use it. Let's be careful when we're
It's how I'm
saying
using
that.
it. All right, exes. when you see that my ex is getting themselves right, that should make you motivated to want to get right too. Because you can't be sitting there crying in the bed and eating whatever your ice cream or Doritos while this person's getting fit. You should be like, hold up. I am no longer seeing this person and they're getting fit and they're going to attract some honeys. Well, this queen bee is about to go out and get fit too.
Let me tell you why that sucks for me, because I'm always the one who still keeps up with the fitness, and like this man didn't even go for a run for like 3 weeks and just got up for a run, and I got a notification today after 3 weeks. Like,
Then that should make you feel good.
I mean, I'm feeling great, fam. Like, it's cool over here.
It's kind of a waste of a notification.
That's what I'm saying. It's a waste of notification. That's all I'm saying is like, I don't, So then, that goes to say that I overall felt like Minder was a waste, because every time that we'd match whatever, like people would message, and I don't feel like that. And I think that when we talked about Minder last time, I had this jolt of wanting this long-term relationship energy at that time. And then like, that's over. And like, I don't feel that anyone. I don't feel that way
Now you
anymore.
want a long-term gym partner.
I want a long-term gym partner that's not a relationship, and I enjoy the entirety of my bed. I don't need anybody joining me in this anytime soon. I don't need to share my closet space. I just it's just, I enjoy me and myself right now. I enjoy the family that I have, and so whatever energy I was seeking before, I am quite literally the opposite now. So we're good over here. That's my Minder update.
Do you think you'll go back soon?
So I read this meme, right? And I felt like, you guys tell me what you think. I won't even say if I relate to this or not. You guys just tell me. It said, girls are literally just these things, okay? Just say these things or are these things. Men are trash. I'm hungry. Men are trash. My back hurts. Men are trash. I want a baby. Men are trash.
That's like you girls.
You girls.
That sounds
And
like...
disclaimer, I don't think men are trash, but I like the energy it gives off.
Yeah, okay, so that's you girls. That's people like you. You are about that. Look, you're smiling through that whole thing. You're like, oh my God, that's so mean.
But Amber doesn't actively say those men are trash.
I don't, yeah.
But she
it.
supports the movement.
I like the jokes that come with the men are trash.
Yeah, I mean, the jokes are funny.
Yeah.
I think we all like those
I
jokes.
don't actually think men are trash, but I like the jokes.
Some are funny. They're like, oh, I don't know how to fit this in my Twitter, wallpaper or whatever. And then you click on their Twitter wallpaper and it just says, men are trash or something like that. It's just, funny stuff like that.
Yeah. I just like the jokes that come with it, so I would say it's a part of that energy. I don't actually believe it. But... yeah, so that's is this going to be a long-term thing? Obviously not. One day I'm going to want a hubby, but what I was going for before is very much not there anymore, and I'm good over here.
She's locked down. Zen. It's all open.
Oh my gosh.
She's tied down. She's ready for a single male once he turns 18, who's waiting for her.
I'm open. I'm just not long-term relationship open, okay? That sounded
Amazing.
so bad. Hold on. That didn't make any sense. Whatever. Just move on, please.
Okay. Yo, you want to close this out with your haunted trail story?
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll call it a podcast.
So Halloween's almost coming. Oh, it's actually tomorrow. Whoa.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
So Halloween
That's
already
crazy.
happened when you're hearing this.
Yeah. But I wanted to talk about, the haunted trail, personalities. Right? Mm-hmm. And I want to ask, what are your guys' haunted trail personalities? There's, the alpha guy, the guy who, gets scared, the guy or girl that gets scared. What are your guys'
Okay, I just want to point out real quick, there's never an alpha guy on one of these. There's a wannabe alpha guy on these. No, I'm if I'm paying for an experience, I want an experience. So... my brother is what you're talking about. Yes. We all know this,
yeah,
but he's just
that's true. That word is so like that.
He speed walks through an entire haunted trail and goes, that's not even scary. I knew that was coming.
Yeah. He's the guy in the front, right? Okay, so he's the guy in the front that just walks normally or whatever.
Very stiff.
And then very stiff. People will jump out and scare and he'll be like, I saw that coming.
The thing is, people that are there don't even want to scare him because they're just like, oh, it's this type of guy. Like, why are you here?
Why are you here?
What are you doing here if you're not here? Like, if you're watching a scary movie and you're like, jump scare's about to come. Like, I hate those people. I'm like,
that's so
leave the room.
low-key.
Leave the room right now. Do not talk when the scary part is about to happen. Don't laugh and be like, oh, that's not even scary. It's you're a buzzkill, bro.
You're killing it. And like what Frost is saying is like he's there for the experience. Like I'm a screamer. Like I scream like at top of my lungs when a scare comes. And like I may not be as scared as I scream, but I kind of hype it up a little bit, which makes it way more fun.
I like that you do that because it actually attracts the people to come to the rest of our group. And there's some people in there that there's some people that are actually really scared, and the really scared people don't scream or anything. They're like very quiet because they're like, I don't want anything to happen to me. When you scream that loud, they come rushing. It's like zombies.
And so then some of our other friends, they'll push me away. They're like, don't come to me because you're attracting them.
Yeah.
And then when I'm attracting them, I'm like getting more scared. It's like more fun. It's like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah. So I'm the guy that's like, well, in really any situation, I'm trying to instigate. So when I saw SHAH-AMEER doing that,
hell yeah, you are.
I'm like with what his movement. So I'm pushing them towards him and then blocking off like, places where there's someone scary coming from the back. I'm just like, all right, let me just stay here a little bit longer so then they can like run up and scare. It's just fun. Like you're there to have fun. It's fun. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do.
Amber, what's your role that you usually partake in?
I'm a codependent scaredy cat, so like I enjoy adrenaline rushes. Like I actually really like being there, but I love having a friend to do it with, like hooking arms with a friend and being like, oh my god, what's about to happen? Like, oh my god, like this is crazy, like that type of energy. And we're like walking through the maze or whatever. But let me tell you about you guys, okay? Let me tell you about both you guys, because I have a story with both of you guys at the haunted house, and I'm like automatically angry about it for no reason right now. Okay.
I actually have no idea what she's talking about.
Me and a girlfriend, right? Me and Sana, one of our girlfriends. And we were walking in the haunted house, and we were both very clearly scared. Faras and Saad made a plan that they are going to separate me and Sana, and like everybody knows I'm a clinger. Like I'm gonna cling to everybody, okay? Whoever's next to me. They're like, oh, like Amber, like you're gonna like cling to Frost now, basically, okay? So Frost like, oh yeah, like Amber, come here, and quite literally made me okay, you did say it. It's you were like, come here, and I was so confused. I was like, okay. Then you made me literally the target of the you said you instigate. You quite literally made me the target of the scaring, okay? Literally were like screaming everything, and then I tried to run away, and you quite literally were like, you're not running away, you're gonna stay with me as I attract attention for all the people to scare you first, okay? That's you, Frost.
Oh, and then the guy was saying like Amber.
Yes,
right?
because you kept telling him my name.
Now.
Exactly.
That's fire. That dude followed us through the whole haunted house saying Amber over and over. Yo, that was fire.
SHAH-AMEER. I'm saving the best story for last. Like, what you mean?
I'm excited for this.
I was walking by SHAH-AMEER, okay? For some reason, we were holding onto the same jacket. Okay? I'm not sure exactly why, but we're holding onto the same jacket. And as we walk out, the end of the haunted house, there's a chainsaw guy who runs after you, right? And so for me, that's like the scariest part because it's the most unexpected, it's loud, everything. SHAH-AMEER and I were holding on to the same jacket as this chainsaw guy comes behind. I'm holding on my jacket. SHAH-AMEER decides to hold on to it too and runs with all of his might, flipping me upside down and falling while this chainsaw dude brings the chainsaw right next to my head as it's like buzzing in my ear, and I am crying and screaming for mercy. Like,
keep in mind, I didn't know this happened until after.
Until after, when I was on the ground dying.
I was already out, and then I'm like, wait, where did Amber go? And then I look back, and by the time I'm looking back, Amber's already out, and she's like, "You flipped me over." I'm like, "Wait, how?" Like, I don't remember this at all.
You yanked my jean jacket all the way with you.
So that's how intense I get in these haunted houses, and for me, it's hilarious.
Good times. Come with us
Okay.
to a haunted house.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
set it
actually
up.
how we all started becoming friends, like
Yeah.
as a friends group, was because of a haunted house.
Wow, full circling this. It's crazy. And let us
Yeah.
know what personality you are in Haunted Trails. I'd
Yeah.
like to know.
Yeah. And hopefully, by the time you guys have heard this, you had a safe and happy Halloween. And by safe, I mean the COVID stuff as well. And you have a great November, Movember, No Nut November, however you celebrate this coming month. And yeah, everyone stay safe. Thank you for listening. And be nice to your parents and love them.
And don't flip your friend overs at haunted houses.
Or do it. It's more fun.
And if you still believe in the Tooth Fairy, it's time to grow up
And take responsibility.
and take
for your life.
responsibility for your life. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
This is not the brag, it's just the facts. I did the math, my theory's funny. I get the first and the last laugh. Skipped school and graduated, I'm such a class act. I couldn't wait in line to get smart, so I took